great dad hack for over the weekend. I was solo with Scotty. Mom and Rue were in DC for the weekend doing bar 3 stuff. Yeah. Sightseeing, doing a lot of things on mom's end with bar 3. And so a great dad hack is having the boys. I got a couple, obviously play dates, things that burn time. I take Scotty to the coffee shop, burn some time there, take her to the playground, burn some time there. We did a play date that helps burn time before nap time. But also the boys, I conned 3 of the boys from the shop to essentially help me watch her eat. Yeah. Because I wanted to get her out of the house. Let's go get some dinner. Was it just going to be me and Scotty? I'd be totally fine if it's just me and Scotty. But I'm like, how can I also cross off a social aspect of my life? Like I haven't eaten at all or anything yet, like one-on-one with Derek or gotten to know him outside of the shop. Yes. I was hopeful you were going to be one of the guys to respond. But I reach out to all the guys who are that work with Bussin'. I reach out to all the boys that I knew were in town.
Full chat.
Yeah, hey, meal on your boy. Who wants to come?
Oh, really?
We'll set it up. It's going to be an early dinner because it's basically going to be with me and Scotty. But anybody interested? If you guys hit up, made a smaller group chat, and basically told them I just conned you guys and essentially helping me watch Scotty while we eat dinner. But great dad hack out there.
Yeah, that is a good dad hack.
Hit off some friend stuff, hit off some work stuff, hit off some Scotty stuff.
Yes, dude.
Get Scotty around people.
I went and got Potbelly with BC4, my guy here. Yeah. With Scarlett. That was actually on Valentine's Day. That was our Valentine's Day date, a little daddy-daughter date. And but dude, so easy and fun to just rip with a friend.
Yeah.
Like any parent that's sitting there that's like, I'm never gonna see my friends again. Au contraire. It's very simple to go just grab a bite. I grab a Olipop, grab a drink. Like I'm a believer in that. I don't see anything weird in that.
You didn't even need to. It was funny because like you texted the smaller group and said, haha, I've conned you into watching my daughter eat with me. And I think all 3 of us were like, we kind of knew that. Like we kind of assumed there was something else here, but like, we want to go with you. It was just so funny because he was like, I got all of you guys. And we're like, all right.
Hey, we were totally cool with it in the beginning. We kind of knew what we were signing up for. You said free meal though, right? Yeah. Like you're getting the check, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
I was in Knoxville when I was texting back and I was with Alex and I was like, damn, Will's having everyone out to eat and I'm going to miss it. And Alex is like, oh, it's great. I go, oh, he just said that he conned everybody into watching Scotty. And she goes, that sounds even better. Like that doesn't sound like a drawback at all. And I was like, yeah.
It was a lot of fun, man. Like it fired me up coming in the next day and some of the boys were talking about how fun Scotty was and everything else. Because again, like as a parent and you just think in terms, you don't want to be, I don't know, you don't want to annoy people with your kid. And I know that's a fake assumption. That's a fake fear that we all make up. But you're sitting there, it's like, number one, it'd be fun to go out and socialize, but you don't want to sit there and annoy people with all the things you got to do with being a parent. And I sound, now that I'm saying it out loud, I sound ridiculous. I sound ridiculous saying that.
Yeah,
I sound ridiculous saying that.
Unless you're like that type of guy that's like, hey, or gal of like, I really hate babies. I really hate small children. Why in the world is my friend asking me to hang out with them? I don't see who would not be like down and cool to hang.
That I wouldn't already know going into asking the question. Dude.
Exactly.
I know that they don't really care to be around, or they don't, for whatever reason, they want to draw a line and be like, I don't want to be around.
Hey, no kids.
Yeah, no kids, man.
Which there are those no kids situations, obviously. Yeah. Like, hey, we're doing this big golf trip. We're doing this big hunting trip.
Sure,
and then you roll up with, Scarlett on your chest. They're like, what in the world?
You got a shout out from Demon. Because we were sitting there and Scotty was kind of operating and like ran over to another family and this and that and this and that. And I believe the words Jared said were like, hanging out with Sherm so much, like I'm so much better around babies now.
Really?
Because we were just all talking about like our comfortability with like children and things like that. And he was like, yeah, I don't really get babies, but like Scars helped me get babies.
Really?
Get a nice shout
out. Demon's 24. And when he explained some of that stuff, like being around Scarlett and everything else, I'm like, buddy, I'm with you. Like, I completely understand where you're coming from. Before I had my kids, like I wasn't a big baby guy. Not that I didn't like babies, but anytime they wanted me to hold them, I was always very nervous to hold kids.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't have like, any game with like talking to the child. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So where I do the little baby voice. And I never felt comfortable doing it around people or like operating with kids. I was like, I was the same way as you. Obviously, I'm a parent now, so you're way more comfortable. You have way more fun. It's kind of like open your eyes. Like, man, it's weird how much I was just kind of uncomfortable around babies, but I wasn't a big baby person whatsoever until I had Rue.
I feel like naturally, people from birth to like probably around like Rue's age, because Rue's like really out and about at 3, almost 4. Like they just kind of only do stuff with the family, or they're only doing stuff at the house. So like you don't really just run into a bunch of newborn babies all that often.
True. And if I think back to me growing up, like my dad was an only child. We lived in St. Francis County, where my dad's parents, my grandma and grandpa that I was talking about a couple episodes ago, those are my dad's parents. So we grew up around, my dad was an only child, so there was no uncles. Like my mom, she lived away. Her family's kind of scattered across the country.
Yeah.
But I didn't grow up around, aunts and uncles, or where there's new kids coming into the fold. Like Wyatt is 6 years younger than me. So by the time Wyatt was born.
Is he the next oldest?
No, Cody's a year below me. So there's two of us.
Okay.
And we were a grade apart. And then Wyatt was the youngest, who's 6 years younger than me. So, we were never around babies or kids. Like one of my best friends, Logan, there were like 12 of them. So he was always very good with babies, a couple different marriages. And ultimately there's a full 12 of them. Some are step siblings. So he was just always comfortable because he's around the house and operating with a newborn or whatever it is, to where he was always comfortable. But I just didn't grow up around where there's kids everywhere and I just knew what to do all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, does that make sense?
Yes. And thank you for sharing that. That's actually really cool to hear from Demon, an ST sicko.
Yeah, he still thinks raising a dog is the same as the kids.
He does.
There are those people, again.
And there are those parallels. I'll give him that.
Yeah, there are some parallels. My parents got Conan, named after Conan the Barbarian, a Rottweiler, who they trained and did all this stuff. They spent a year with Conan before they were doing that to trial before they had me. Before they had their first kid.
Right on.
So some people do think in a way like responsibility of a dog, because there are a lot of responsibilities of a dog. Then when you become a parent, you almost laugh at the dog people, but I completely get it. It's like you sit there and trial run a dog. We had Waffle before we had Rue.
Yeah.
Waffle is, she's pretty low maintenance. She's a bulldog.
Yeah.
But there are those parallels.
I like to those dog people that equate it to having a baby. I will say this. If you are raising actual puppies, like you get that dog when it is a puppy and you're having a housebreak and stuff, I do think it's a good training tool of like throw yourself into some suck.
Absolutely.
To like
if you're
get ready for that.
Sixer, do you have a dog, Chef?
Pseudo. I'm like a stepdad to my girlfriend's dog.
Stepdog dad.
Yeah.
Dog stepdad.
Yeah,
two cats.
But if you're a Seaman Team Sixer and you don't have a whole lot of responsibilities going on, to where you might have a job or you might be going to school or whatever it is, absolutely, you want to get into what the world of responsibility. I'm not saying you don't have responsibilities,
of course,
but if you're caring for a little puppy, like that is going to break you. It's going to make you think about how you structure your weekends, how you kind of structure your day-to-day, because you do have to map out what a routine looks like, to where it does pull from you in other angles where you're like, fuck, I have this dog. I have to think about my dog. My boys are going out of town.
Yeah.
Who am I going to get to watch the dog? I got
to
start thinking about all of these things.
Yes, I got to wake up at 3:00 in the morning to clean up this pee and poop puddle.
Yeah.
Or they pooped in the fucking bed and I'm having to clean that.
Yeah.
Throw some newspaper on it.
Spray some Febreze.
Spray some Febreze.
Yeah. We got to just got off on a tangent there. We got to keep it under an hour.
Yeah, we do. Chef,
okay.
Did you have something?
I just wanted, while we were doing the callbacks from last episode, Smith and Len's Pizza, as many of y'all remember, Derek and Will got into it.
Right.
We got it Friday. I'll pass it to you guys, but that might be the best slice in Nashville. It's going to be hard to argue that one.
Smith and Len's.
Yep.
Awesome pizza. And by the way, we got in a little tiff. We got in a little dust up last week. The underarching theme there is we are allies. We are allies.
Yeah,
I needed Deke to be mobilized more in previous engagements that we've had over the food topic. However, Derek crushed it with Smith and Len's. Great pizza in Nashville. Loved every slice. Had about 6 of them. He brought it to the shop. How many boxes of pizza? About 8 boxes of pizza.
We ended up getting 6 and then a ranch for each one. When it was all said and done, 6, all taken to prom.
And to put out there, people who are ranch people with pizza, 1 ranch per box. We were light on ranch.
We were
light on ranch.
But with this type of pizza, And we can get into it. You don't need a whole lot of ranch. But this is my one note. One, when I took my first bite, I completely understood where my boy Deke was coming from in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I said, I would die on that hill any day with you now. Like, I went up to him. I said, truly like top 5 all time. We had an artisan place back in Fort Worth that was like some big name pizza chef guy from like one of the big cities, LA, New York. And it was very reminiscent of that, if not better. I told him top 5 all time.
Great pizza. To the point, Derek will tell you too, when I got in the smaller group chat about dinner, I had options in my head, but I'm like, based on the resume that Derek is painting,
You choose.
with him and beer and food and everything else, I'm like, what are some spots? We ended up just obviously landing on Pinewood, but I have nothing but respect for Derek's palate.
Derek, blindfold me, spin me around, and then just
put something in my mouth.
And put something in my mouth. I don't care. That's
if you
how
guys
much.
are free Saturday,
Yeah.
it's steak and blowjob day.
Yeah.
March 14th, blindfold me, spin me around, and put something in my mouth.
Hey, Derek, what are you doing on the 14th? You only got to worry about the first part. Don't worry about the second part.
When he shot me the text being like, hey, I got some food ideas I'd love, and you did say I'd love to hear what Derek, it was a good stamp of approval feeling. Like, I feel like I got a good stamp. Like, if I send you to somewhere or I show you a song or a movie, like, I feel good about it. But the other side of it is, and I brought this up at dinner, like, adding a kid to the mix, it threw off my whole scale. Because if you were like me and Char going to dinner or drinks or something, or you know what I mean? Then you're like, hey, I'm like, dang, we are bringing Scotty. Like, what would be, which is why we picked Pinewood, because there's a lot of room to move and like, it's a pretty relaxed environment.
And you haven't been to the other spots I had mentioned.
No,
and you're
they
like,
all sound
whatever
great.
you think is going to be the best environment for Scotty.
Yeah.
Because I threw a couple Mexican, like
Fonda
on 8th Avenue or on 12th, on one of them. I think it's Fonda on 12th. Very like a little more money, but great Mexican food.
Okay.
Awesome Mexican food. Masaro is another Mexican
Love
spot.
Masaro.
Tex-Mex.
Masaro.
Tex-Mex on 12th. Have you been there?
I've been to the one in Fort Worth.
Okay.
Love Masaro.
But that's a good one. I was, I'm like, I wonder if they've been to this spot or if somebody's going to be like, hey, let's go here.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we ended up landing on Pinewood. But yes, nothing but respect for Derek's food game.
Just a little future note for any PT sickos out there that are going to invite me to a meal, but I'm more specifically talking to this group. I went to the corner bar with Jared and his girlfriend. And it was listed as a restaurant. We walked into it. It was very much a bar. And now I might be speaking out of turn for other PT sickos. I felt very comfortable walking in with Scarlett, and we had our little high chair thing. Mm-hmm. And I did get some looks from the people sitting at the bar top going, oh, that dude's walking in here with a baby. What's that going to look like?
Yeah.
Scarlett was on her best behavior and, didn't cry at all. But I just plopped her right there, and we sat and ate wings, and they had some drinks. I was driving, so I didn't partake, but I felt very comfortable in that situation. It felt normal to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if other people whatever. So
that thing, because you were bringing up about dog people and babies comparing. I have the same thing that you described when I take, because my dog's a pit bull, to the dog park where he bites at other dogs. And I'm thinking, I'm cool with it. Are they cool with it? The dogs are playing. And there was a quote. I'm going to do another quote. You aren't who you think you are. You aren't who they think you are. You are who you think they think you are. Which is a tongue twister to say, Sherm, you walk in.
Say that again clearly. Slow
that is
down.
true. That is true.
You aren't who you think you are.
Okay.
And you aren't who they think you are. You are who you think they think you are. So when Sherm walks into the bar with a baby, he's not just Sherm, and everyone at the bar probably didn't care. But
That's
he
what I'm
goes,
saying. Yeah,
he goes, those guys are probably thinking this guy's bringing a baby in. When nobody cares. That guy's probably thinking about ordering his third beer or something. So I get that a lot.
Or they look like, oh, cute baby. They're like, I'll take another one.
Yeah. That is true. That is a really, really good point.
That is a very good point.
I am often, you know that about me too. I'm an overthinker. I
think a lot of us, people in general, kind of overthink everything. I see what you mean. You're like a people pleaser. You think a lot about everything going on. 100%.
I don't have a problem. I'm just here for the food.
Yeah.
All right? And I love my kids. Sue me.